What if just 4 ancient Greek exercises could build more real strength, endurance, and fat-burning power than your entire modern workout routine? The shocking truth is, Greek warriors trained without machines, supplements, or expensive gyms, yet developed physiques so incredible that historians thought the statues were fake. But they weren't. And one of these forgotten movements may completely change the way you train forever. Have you ever felt caught in the relentless churn of modern life, where even our pursuit of well-being becomes another complex task on an already overflowing to-do list? I certainly had. For years, my fitness journey felt like an endless quest for the next big thing: the latest gym membership, the trendiest class, the most intricate machine promising a sculpted physique. Yet, despite the effort and expense, I often found myself feeling fragmented. My body felt strong in isolated areas, perhaps, but my overall sense of agility, balance, and practical strength seemed to be missing something vital. I was strong, but was I truly capable? That question lingered, a quiet whisper in the back of my mind, until one crisp autumn morning when I stumbled upon something that would utterly transform my perception of strength, movement, and well-being. I was at a local park, nursing a nagging knee pain after a particularly intense gym session, watching the world go by. That's when I saw him. An older gentleman, perhaps in his late 60s, moving with an effortless grace that belied his age. He wasn't lifting weights or running sprints. Instead, he was performing a series of fluid, almost dance-like movements with a single, heavy object. His name, I would soon learn, was Elias. Elias wasn't a personal trainer in the conventional sense. He was a retired history professor with a lifelong passion for ancient cultures, particularly the Greeks. He saw my curious gaze and offered a warm smile. "Trouble with the knees, my friend?" he asked, his voice gentle yet resonant. I nodded, surprised by his perceptiveness. "Modern fitness, it often forgets the wisdom of the ancients," he mused, gesturing towards his own simple movements. They didn't have chrome machines or protein shakes. They had ingenuity, an understanding of the human body, and a desire for holistic strength. Intrigued, I sat down beside him, and Elias began to share his philosophy, a philosophy rooted in the very foundations of human movement. He explained that the ancient Greeks, the architects of the Olympic Games, and proponents of the Kalokagathia, the ideal of a beautiful and good individual, never focused on splitting muscle groups. Their training was about developing overall motor skills, creating bodies that were not just strong, but adaptable, agile, and resilient. They sought practical strength, the kind that served you in daily life, in battle, in sport, rather than isolated bulk. This was the missing piece I hadn't even known I was looking for. Elias invited me to try a few exercises, promising a full-body workout that would challenge me in ways my gym never had. The first was deceptively simple: the overhead carry. He handed me a sturdy, heavy object, a sandbag, surprisingly, and instructed me to press it overhead, locking my arms, and then walk. Just walk. My shoulders screamed almost immediately. My core, which I thought was strong, felt like it was doing a frantic dance to keep me upright. Every step was a battle against gravity, a constant negotiation for balance. Elias watched, a knowing glint in his eye. "Ah, the overhead carry," he said. "An exercise that tests and improves full-body stability, from shoulders, spine, deep core muscles, to hips. It forces your entire structure to work as one cohesive unit, just as it should." I felt muscles I didn't even know I possessed engaging, firing in a symphony of stabilization. It was humbling, yet incredibly empowering. I realized my previous training had built individual pillars, but not necessarily a sturdy, integrated bridge. Over the next few weeks, I became Elias's unofficial student. He introduced me to movements that felt primal, intuitive, yet profoundly effective. One afternoon, he demonstrated what he called a warrior-style ground press. It involved getting down to the ground, pressing up, and moving swiftly, almost like a controlled scramble. "This isn't about how much you can bench press," Elias explained. "It's about how quickly and powerfully you can get up from the ground, how you can move your body through space with purpose and control." He emphasized its importance, especially for middle-aged individuals like me. This helps increase practical strength, improve reflexes, balance, and movement endurance. It trains your body to react, to adapt, to be ready for anything life throws at you. Whether it's catching a falling child or simply getting out of a low chair with ease. I felt my practical strength soar, my reflexes sharpen, and my movement endurance improve dramatically. No longer did I feel stiff and rigid. I felt fluid and capable. Elias also championed the simplest, most accessible form of movement: walking. But not just any walking. He insisted we spend time by the nearby coast, walking barefoot on the soft, shifting sand. "Feel the earth beneath your feet, Ethan," he'd say. "Connect with it." At first, it felt strange, my feet unused to the uneven terrain. But soon, I noticed a profound difference. Walking barefoot on sand activates small muscle groups in the feet, ankles, and knees, Elias taught me. These are often neglected in modern footwear, but they are crucial for balance, for absorbing shock, and for overall stability. My ankles grew stronger, my balance improved remarkably, and the constant micro-adjustments required by the sand stimulated blood circulation, all while reducing the pressure on my once-aching knee joints. It was a revelation, a simple, joyful act that brought immense therapeutic benefits. Then came the kettlebell. Elias introduced me to the Bakiti, kettlebell swing, explaining its explosive power. "This isn't an arm exercise, Ethan," he chuckled, as I initially tried to muscle it up. "The power comes from your hips, from the very core of your being." He taught me to hinge at the hips, exploding forward, using the force from my posterior chain, my glutes, hamstrings, and lower back, to propel the kettlebell. It was a full-body symphony of power and control. The kettlebell swing uses force from the hips to activate the posterior chain, helping to burn fat, increase full-body strength, and effectively improve cardiovascular health, he explained. The sheer intensity of the movement, the way it engaged my entire body in one fluid, powerful burst, left me breathless, yet exhilarated. My heart pounded, my muscles burned, but it wasn't the isolated burn of a bicep curl. It was a deep, pervasive warmth that permeated my entire being. Over the course of those months, my body transformed, not just in appearance, but in function. The nagging pains vanished. My posture improved. I felt lighter, more agile, more grounded. I wasn't just working out. I was moving, living, experiencing my body in a way I hadn't since childhood. I realized that the Greeks weren't just building athletes. They were cultivating individuals who were whole, resilient, and deeply connected to their physical selves. Elias had shown me that true fitness wasn't about chasing fleeting trends or isolating muscles in a sterile gym. It was about rediscovering the inherent wisdom of our bodies, embracing functional movements, and building a foundation of strength and stability that serves us in every aspect of life. These 4 simple Greek-style exercises, the overhead carry, the warrior-style ground press, walking barefoot on sand, and the kettlebell swing, had replaced my complex, expensive gym routine entirely. They offered a complete, holistic workout that challenged my body, sharpened my mind, and reconnected me with the fundamental joy of movement. And as I stood there, feeling the wind on my face, the sand between my toes, and the deep, abiding strength within me, I knew I had finally found what I was searching for. Not just a workout, but a way of life. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 4 Greek exercises would you try first, and why? Please share your thoughts in the comments so everyone can learn from each other's experiences. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Everyday Vital Path to support the channel and motivate us to create more powerful health and fitness content for you.